Hello, I'm Bob Jeffrey at the Cannes Lion International Festival of Creativity. Cannes is where the advertising industry gathers to celebrate the best work and most exciting ideas. But Cannes is more than a party on the beach. Cannes is about being world-made and being inspired to make new things. Today on Worldmakers, we'll meet some of the people using that inspiration to redefine how we connect and create. Welcome to Worldmakers. I'm here with Terry Savage, who's chairman of the festival. And not only is this the most prestigious creative festival in the world, but we're also celebrating the 60th anniversary of Cannes, Terry, which is an amazing achievement. Welcome.
Thank you very much, and welcome to Cannes.
You know, it's great to be here. Another busy year for both of us. I mean, 60 years, that's an amazing amount of time, but just in the last 5 years, there's been so much change here, especially around the area of innovation and technology. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, look, I think ultimately Cannes is a reflection of the business, and the business is clearly headed in that direction. So in fact, the festival heads in that direction, and it should be remembered that we've actually morphed 3 times. We were the Festival of Film, we then moved to the Festival of Advertising, and it was only 4 years ago that we went to the Festival of Creativity. And the great part about being a festival of creativity is there are so many more areas that we can now engage in, which is common to the industry we work in, for inspiration especially. So technology is at the heart of the business, so accordingly these days it's at the heart of the festival.
Yeah, I agree. I think what the Cannes Festival is, it's a mirror to our industry in that, you know, now it's obviously no longer about TV and print, it's about everything but that. And actually clients now, even when we present work to them, they want to know what the big idea is, and they really want to see non-traditional. TV is almost secondary in the mix.
On one level that's true. Go to the Saturday Night Awards ceremony and you see the enthusiasm, the passion for TV is still omnipresent, because that is the expression in its simplest form of great ideas. And I think irrespective of technology or what platform you're on or what media you're on, this business is still about great ideas, and that's what people love the most.
Yeah, I completely agree with this. I have an expression I use in the agency which is called press play, and by that I mean exactly what you said, that film is still the ultimate distillation of an idea for a client. It's the easiest way to communicate an idea to so many different audiences, and I think sitting in that audience on Saturday night, you're right, it's such a source of pride when you could go up there and win a lion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we've improved over the years how we present some of the more difficult to present categories. And the really interesting thing that I'm noticing this week at Cannes is the quality of the entry videos still keep getting better and better and better. And some of them are almost becoming creative works of art in their own right. So it's not just about creativity of the original entry anymore, it's about creativity of the entry video that's also becoming a factor.
And what I thought was interesting about the jury on effectiveness, it reflects another big trend at Cannes, which is it's not just agency people, there are clients on there as well. And if I think about my own experience at Cannes, how would you explain the increase in client attendance over the last several years?
Well, I think the legendary start of clients at Cannes was Procter & Gamble came in large numbers, and that gave us a platform where we could in fact drive the concept into other clients across the globe. And I think the reason they're coming to Cannes is certainly at the beginning is that they wanted to understand effectiveness, creativity. They wanted to tell their agencies, yes, we want to learn more about creativity. And I think there's a recognition that they now understand that great creative work sells more. And so I think what we're now seeing is the word spreading from the big global companies into the big national companies. They've come, they've arrived, they've seen the festival, they realise there's so much more here than just learning about creativity. So they're actually getting so much from this festival, and I talk to marketers all over the world who say to me, I didn't understand what I was going to get from coming there. And so they get so much from this event, and the thing that we find is they come and they come back and they come back. And this year in particular, what I'm seeing is that they're hunting in packs. So whereas you might have had 2 people year 1, 3 people year 2, all of a sudden it's 30 or 40 people are coming in groups, because they're using it now as a centre to conference off the back of the festival, so they can actually get the benefits of both sides.
Yeah, we actually have a few of our global clients that are doing that this year, and what I like about it is, it goes back to what you said, is It gives them an insight about what everybody else is doing from a creative point of view. But I also think that they're looking to get inspired from the festival, not just in terms of communications, but also how creativity can transform their own business agenda in general.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the one consistent thing they tell us: do not lose your creative heart. This is the festival of creativity. Of course, it's got a lot of other moving parts today, but we are very, very focused and very conscious to make sure that creativity stays at the centre.
Obviously, you know, I run JWT. There's a number of agencies here, all different sizes. What advice would you give to agencies going forward? And by that I mean, separate from obviously entering work, but what would be the best way to use Cannes in terms of our own agenda about talent?
Sure. I have a couple of distinct thoughts on this, and the first is, because Cannes is becoming so powerful, the people that put up their hand to come to Cannes are invariably the more senior people. And yet I think the young, what we term the young creatives, the junior people, this can be a really massive life-changing experience for them. And I think they're your future, and I think they're getting left behind a little bit. And it's something we're actually trying to put some plans in place to alter. So the first thing I say is don't forget the young people who can make such a massive difference. And I say a massive difference because we see people in our young creative competitions here on the Monday, and on the Wednesday they're on stage with a gold lion in their hand. So I think that's the first point. The second point that I think is really, really important is to ensure that when you're planning to come, take the information back to their home offices and drill it down through their organisations. I think there's too often there wasn't a debrief from that person from the office from which they came, and I think there should be a real plan to actually, you're going to Cannes, but we have an expectation that when you come back from Cannes, you speak to the whole office about the experience, your learnings, and how it can benefit the agency going forward.
I think the big challenge in our industry now is it's almost like we have to skip a generation, because it goes back to what you said earlier. The technology and innovation is happening so quickly that the faster we can get digital natives in the position of actually shaping the work, shaping the ideas, I think the stronger collectively the whole industry will be. And trying to figure out how to leverage that at Cannes, I think would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, and it's not that hard if it's actually planned and there's a process in place from the very beginning. And I think quite often what happens is that people start to look at this in March, where they should be looking at this in July.
Any predictions or trends of where you see the next 5 years going?
You'd be a very brave man to actually predict that totally, but I think clearly digital technology is going to play a significant role going forward, as it has in the past. I think the really interesting thing for us is the first year for Innovation Lions. I think innovation can create a step change in Cannes, as the market has created a step change when they first came in 2003. I think it's really in our heartland as well. I mean, the fact that agencies can actually own the IP as opposed to sort of just creating work for others, I think is a real incentive for them. So I think innovation is a really interesting area that I think is going to show substantial growth going.
Well, Terry, this has been great, and thanks for joining us on Worldmakers.